right, welcome once again. Can I get a let's go Mariners? All right. Your American League West champions, Seattle Mariners. We are joined by Mariners General Manager Justin Hollander. Justin, man, it's good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
There were more people here for Cal.
I think it was the gender reveal that got all the people here before.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay. Well, hey, man, what an incredible season, obviously, for the ball club, the best season in franchise history. And I know we were talking with Jerry yesterday. He had a great line that the off season is the on season for you guys. What has it been like for you?
There was like a week mourning period. I laid on the couch and ate a lot of food for a week straight to try and wash away Game 7. And then after that, you get to work. You figure out how you're going to get Josh Naylor back, which was priority number one. So super excited about that. And then you figure out the other things you want to do to make the club better. So there is no real off season, but definitely not in the off season for sure.
Justin, it didn't take long. You mentioned Josh Naylor. It did not take long, man, for him to get off the board. I mean, he was the first big free agent to sign back. And that, to me, speaks volumes, means he wants to be here. You guys obviously want him back. Talk us through the process from when the season finished and when you started that process. What was that like, getting him back?
Yeah, I think that the process was easy because, like you said, everybody wanted the same thing. I think Josh really wanted to be here, and we really wanted him back. So Jerry and I spoke to his agent right after the season, and then we flew to Arizona and met with Josh. I think it was supposed to be like a 2-hour meeting that went 5, and Josh was incredible, just talking about what was important to him, which of our prospects he liked, how he saw himself fitting in on the big league team. And then after that, it was just a back and forth on like the things he valued, years and dollars, and what was important to him, and sort of making sure that everybody was willing to sort of give a little to make sure that the right thing happened, which was that Josh was going to be here for a long time.
Did you use the stolen bases against you guys or what?
It didn't come up, but if he wants to go ahead and steal 30 bags again, I'm good with that.
It's funny when we hear Josh talk about his short time already as a Mariner, one of the things that he talks about constantly is this ballpark and this fan base, this crowd. And he had the great line at one point that he said he could feel the ground shaking while out there at first base or in the batter's box. What did it mean to you to see the crowds, the fans, the over-the-top enthusiasm in this ballpark, especially in October last year?
I'm going to go Rick Riz and get emotional if I'm not careful. It was, I think it's the coolest part of this job is seeing how people in a community react for a life-changing moment for them, something they've waited for a long time. And, I said, like, when we were flying out after Game 5 of the ALCS, after Gino had hit the Grand Slam, and the number of guys on the plane, including me, who were just, like, flipping around Twitter, watching the fan videos that they had recorded of Gino hitting the Grand Slam from their angle and then hugging their son or daughter or father or grandfather or whatever, or best friend, and jumping up and down. Like, that's the coolest part of working for a baseball team, is seeing the momentous impact that it has on people. I'll never forget it. I hope we can do one better this year and have a parade.
Justin, we've had a chance this weekend to, they've set up here some of the young prospects coming up. Cole Emerson, one of them, Johnny Farmello. Fans getting a chance to hear them speak. Kate Anderson as well. But who are some guys that, we should get excited about in 2026 to see here eventually?
I think the guy that stands out for me that I think is just like wildly underrated in the sort of the outside Mariners public sphere is Michael Royal. Michael Royal is an awesome player. He can run. He can hit. He hits homers. He reminds me so much of a player that I had when I was with the Angels and Howie Kendrick. He's very similar to that. I think Michael Arroyo is going to get a lot of hits in a Mariners uniform out here, and I think it'll be at some point this year. You'll see him up here. He's a really exciting player.
When you look back to last season, Cal Raleigh was one of the great storylines in all of baseball, just not with the Mariners. When you think back to drafting Cal, and there was questions when he was coming out of college, would he be a catcher? How good of a catcher would he be? And now to see the Platinum Glove, the 60 home runs, the near MVP, how do you react to that when you know that this is a guy that's a homegrown player who will be here for a long time and has just so ingrained himself in this community?
We had it all the way. We obviously like Cal a lot. We were the team that took him before anyone else. If we knew we would not have waited till the third round to take him. We would have taken him in the first round, and we would have been like over the moon. Fortunately for us, we got Logan Gilbert in the first round of that draft, and then Cal. But no, I think the coolest part about having a team with a lot of homegrown players is seeing how they change and how they evolve. And we have just a lot of great examples of great people who work hard, who were good at baseball when we drafted them, and have willed their way to be great at baseball. Yeah. They've turned themselves into from one of the best college players in the country, or one of the best high school players in the country, or one of the best, international players in the Dominican Republic, to like just all the way up the pyramid to the best players. We have the best center fielder in Julio. We have the best catcher in Cal. We have 5 of the best starters, 4 of which we drafted. Those are just like very cool things to watch the guys evolve over a long period of time.
Yeah, speaking of Cal, we've seen him evolve as being kind of the team leader, especially behind the plate. But even off the field too, obviously 60 home runs helps. But when you're talking about the process with Josh Naylor, bringing him back, having those meetings, talking to free agents, or figuring out, when it comes to trades, how much of an impact or input does Cal have when it comes to, formulating what this team's going to look like year in, year out?
I think his biggest impact is, and this is a difference maybe from when I first got here, is we are really a destination. When we reach out to players, they're excited to come play for the Mariners because they get to play with some of the other best players in the world. I know, like, for example, when we did a Zoom call with Rob Refsnyder in the free agent process early on, it was meaningful to him to go get a chance to play with Cal and Julio and sort of help those guys get to the next phase of their career. I think he said, like, I know what I am at this stage of my career. I'm a really good role player. My job is to help the superstars take us to the World Series. And so I think that's just a difference in how this organization has evolved over time, is that when we call those players and tell them they're a fit for us, it's not a we'll see. It's a we're really excited to come be a Mariner, because not just what they see from our players, but what they see from our fans, from our environment. They all watch the playoffs on TV, and they see this place is insane in big games. It's loud. It's fun. Our fans are dedicated. They're passionate. And if you have the choice to come play in front of 45,000 people in a playoff environment here, or maybe a lesser environment for a non-playoff team, it's not really a choice for players. They want to be a Mariner.
Every team is trying to have the best culture imaginable. And there's a lot of kind of different touch points to that. But one thing, we just had Franklin Gutierrez up here. The alumni interaction in this organization, I can't imagine it being much better. I mean, one of the guys is now the manager. From Ichiro, Edgar, Cammy, Goody, Mr. Mariner, Alvin Davis. I'm sure I'm leaving at least somebody off the list here. I mean, it must speak to the type of culture that's created, that so many guys who have been here before want to come back and still be a part of things. How important that is to you guys?
It's really important, and it's a point of pride, I think, for ownership, for Jerry, for myself, for Kevin Martinez, who's known all these guys for so long because he's been with the organization for 30 years or however long it's been for Kmart. So it's great to see. I think it's a pretty cool feature, or like a little extra benefit. Like, when we're at the trade deadline this year and we acquired Josh Naylor, and I get like a let's bleeping go text from Mike Cameron. Like, it's like he's excited about what we're doing, and seeing Goody around and excited and working with our young players. Obviously, our organization, our community, getting to experience Ichiro's Hall of Fame celebration. These are very unique things. I'm hoping we see that more in the future with Felix, and can get Felix around more. And, he took a big step for the Hall of Fame this year, but I think in general, Ryan's a great example. I think former players feel connected to the org, and they like the Northwest, and they want to be around and feel like they're making a difference.
All right, Justin, the team that was 2025 team, after that season, obviously, you go through the process, you start communicating with players and everything they're doing in their winter, getting ready. From some of that communication from the coaching staff, yourself directly, who's someone you're most excited about seeing in 2026 based off what they've been up to this winter?
I got asked this the other day at an event, and for me, this is like a very easy answer. Bryce Miller. I think Bryce Miller is going to show everyone that 2025 happened for a lot of reasons that were out of his control, and he's going to go back to what we all know of Bryce Miller, which is the guy we saw in the playoffs. I think he's been on a mission all winter. He's healthy. He feels good, and I'm super excited for Bryce.
Well, we've got some lines forming already for some questions for Justin. We'll start over on this side. First question for General Manager Justin Hollander.
Was it hard to choose when who to help give the signatures and who not to?
Signatures.
Sign the signatures?
Oh, was it how difficult is it to decide which player to sign?
Yeah, and to choose to and choose not to.
Yeah. Those are always really hard. My son is sitting down here. He gets mad at me sometimes at the choices we make. But it's always hard. Like I said, I think for us, the easy number one priority for us was Josh Naylor this offseason. Obviously, happy for Jorge Polanco to get the deal he got with the Mets, and very sad for us because we love Polo and he made such a big difference and truly had one of the biggest hits in the history of the franchise. But you have to move on. Like, those are business decisions that the players have to make and that we have to make. But you do feel a connection to the players, especially when you achieve the things that we achieved last year. When you're jumping up and down and hugging everyone, you don't want to let that go. So it does make it hard to make choices in the offseason.
Great question. Thank you.
Justin, what's your dream player to sign? It could be Ohtani, Judge, anyone.
Wow, he's going to get me in trouble for tampering. Well, here, I'll answer it two ways, then I'll have a guest answer for this one. My dream player to sign is our players to extensions. Like when we did Julio's deal, when we did Cal's deal, I hope there's more coming. I think, I was in Anaheim when we signed Mike Trout to his first extension. Those are the things that I think are really gratifying organizationally. It's the guy that you drafted or signed as an amateur, they turn into a great player, and then you keep them here for the bulk of or all of their career. I don't want to get myself in trouble. Elliot, come up here, buddy.
Nice shoes.
All right, so this is my son, Elliot. He's 10. I'm going to let him answer your question. Who's your dream player for us to sign or trade for?
Ohtani would be amazing because, well, everybody likes Ohtani.
Yeah.
Good answer, buddy. All right. Thanks, bud.
Anyway, Elliot.
Thanks,
Dad.
Sorry.
Thanks, guys, for letting me ask. Thanks for letting me ask.
You got it. Thank you. Good question.
Go over this side.
Is it hard to trade players?
For the same reason we just talked about, it's really hard. The amount of sleep that we in the front office lose when you have to make that decision to trade someone that you know and have seen the best versions of for somebody else that you don't really know because you think it's the right decision for the team. It is really hard. I know we make a lot of trades, but we do actually think about them carefully and make sure that we're all aligned that it's the right thing to do. Sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. And it just occurred to me, you may have been asking whether it's like hard mechanically to get them done as hard emotionally. It is very hard to get two teams to agree on a trade exchange. For every trade that we do complete, there's hundreds of them that we talk about that immediately get shot down by someone else is not interesting to them. So it is hard emotionally and actually hard to do.
Second, nothing like that, but I just forgot.
If you think of it, come find me, okay?
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to ask, like, the path you took to become a GM and what advice you would give to somebody who wants to work in baseball.
I took a very bad path. I graduated from college and I didn't want to get a real job. So I went to law school to put it off for 3 years. I took out a lot of student loans and then I practiced law for 4 years while working at night in press boxes like the one we have here and doing internships at whoever would hire me at night and on the weekends and things like that. And then in 2008, the Angels were looking for a baseball ops assistant that was basically like an internship. So I quit my law job and got my father very angry at me and took like a minimum wage job to start out as a baseball ops assistant and then like job by job slowly with the Angels and then with the Mariners in 2006 at the end of 16 started my progression up. So very lucky. I wouldn't recommend that path. I think the things I would recommend at this stage, take any job in baseball that anyone will offer you. Anyone you meet, let them know that you're interested in working in baseball. Learn to speak Spanish and learn to code. So that's the best bit of advice I can give you.
With Gino going to Cincinnati, are you guys looking to fill the third base void with internal options, or are you still active in the infield market for a third baseman?
We're still talking. I don't know if there's any likelihood, or like I couldn't put a percentage on that we would add. It's not necessarily a third baseman, just another position player. Jerry and I usually aren't shy about making transactions. If there's something that we feel like really can move the ball forward with our team, we're wide open to that, whether it's tomorrow, next week, as we get into spring training. Still open to the idea that there are ways to get better and want to do them. What I don't want to do is just get older. I don't want to add a player that's not better than what we have into our infield mix just to say we did it. But if we feel like we can add someone that really moves the ball, then we're definitely looking to do that, and we're open to doing that.
With a return, the draft or free agency, what type of player are you looking for?
Say that again. Ask that question again.
Whether before the draft or free agency, what type of player are you looking for?
So in the draft and free agency, I think we're looking for players who represent and do the things well that we value. So that comes in two different buckets. From a on-field perspective, if it's a pitcher, we like guys with really good stuff, like you see out here with our 5 starters, and guys who throw strikes. From position players, we love guys who take walks, who don't strike out a lot, and who play good defense. And then that's the on-the-field bucket. And the off-the-field bucket, and I think like our 26 guys are a great example of the things we value. The quality of the person, the way they represent the organization, this community really does matter. I don't think I've ever been around a group of players that better embodies that than our players right now, from Julio to Cal to George, who's here this weekend, Gabe Spire, Bryce Miller. I could literally name all 26 guys. These guys are A-plus people who are great teammates, who care about winning and competing, who represent the Northwest and Seattle in ways that we're really proud of. So that's really important to our player acquisition process, is that we know we're getting a great person.
What is your favorite moment from the 25 season last year?
Two come to mind. Regular season moment was the entire last road trip series against the Astros. The number of frustrating moments we've had against the Astros in recent years is too many for us to count, and I think that was a big moment for our team. And at the end of 24, we watched them clinch against us on their home field, and we had given away a big lead and didn't play well for a stretch of time. And I think the whole group, from Dan and the staff to our players to our front office, was upset. We were frustrated, and to go in to Houston and maybe the most meaningful series that we've had in a long time, 25 years, and really do a number on them and sweep them and do it pretty convincingly. Whether it was JP's grand slam on the Sunday night game or Super Victor Robles diving across right field and making that play to end the second game of that series, that was just a great weekend. And then the Gino grand slam, that was, just an unforgettable moment where I thought this building was going to tip over. It was shaking so much. It was just a crazy place and really fun to be a part of.
So when Gino hit that grand slam, I was with that guy over there. We were at work, and we screamed when Gino hit the home run. Our boss comes out and is like, "What is going on out here?" And then we told him what happened. He was like, "Really? And I missed it?"
Those are the type of moments that are super meaningful from our fan base, that you will always remember where you were in that moment. I will always remember where I was. I'm guessing you guys will always remember where you were and how you felt in that moment. And we want to give you a lot more of those moments.
Thank you.
Hi. Which players in the clubhouse currently are you looking to extend?
Wow, put me on the spot. Let's get a deal done right now. Where's George? No, I think it's safe to say, I'm not going to name names. I don't want to put those guys on the spot. The players that have achieved a lot of success for us already, that have been Mariners for a while, I think it's safe to say we've been in touch with their agents over time, and we'll continue to have those conversations. I don't think it's fair for me to put them on the spot on a microphone and say that, but whoever you can imagine is probably the right answer.
Thank you.
Well, Justin, Elliot, thank you guys so much for being here. Let's give it up one more time for Mariners General Manager Justin Hollander.
Thank you guys. Really appreciate it.